These celebrities had it all until a scandal got them fired. Kevin went from Oscar winner to outcast the moment his past caught up with him. Once the star of House of Cards, he was riding high as the charming Frank Underwood.
Kathy, if you don't like how the table is set, turn over the table.
But then scandal struck like a rogue plot twist. In 2017, allegations surfaced that he had made unwanted advances toward actor Anthony when he was just 14. This was just the beginning, as more than a dozen others came forward with similar claims. The fallout was swift and brutal. Kevin was fired from House of Cards and had to watch as production halted and his character was written out. Talk about a dramatic exit. The show's creators even had to rewrite the entire 6th season, cutting it from 13 episodes to just 8. In 2022, a judge ordered Kevin to pay nearly $31 million to the production company for losses incurred due to his firing. Ouch. Now, Kevin's career resembles a classic sitcom gone wrong, full of laughs but ultimately a bit tragic. Who knew that being a power-hungry politician on screen would lead to such a messy off-screen drama? Charlie's off-screen chaos cost him TV's biggest sitcom. Once the star of 2.5 Men,
Kid, if I was gonna lie, I'd say I wrote Stairway to Heaven, not the Maple Loop song.
Charlie's antics behind the scenes became too much for the show. His public feuds with the show's creator, Chuck, were legendary. In 2011, Charlie was fired after a series of rehab stints and some very public meltdowns, including a Christmas arrest in 2009 for a domestic dispute with his then-wife, Brooke Mueller. Charlie's behavior was so erratic that it even led to the show's production being halted. He famously clashed with Chuck, calling him out in interviews, which didn't exactly help his case. Charlie claimed he was underpaid, demanding $3 million per episode, and insulted Chuck in several interviews, leading Warner Brothers to terminate his contract. Now, guess you could say Charlie's career was like a bad sitcom episode, funny, but also a bit of a mess. And honestly, who needs a script when your life is already a drama? Mel's downfall began with a DUI and scandalous recordings. Once a superstar, Mel faced a series of debacles that left his career teetering. In 2006, he was arrested for driving under the influence and made some very unfortunate comments to the police, which didn't exactly win him any friends in the industry. In 2010, things got worse when recordings surfaced of Mel making some pretty harsh remarks to his ex, Oksana, which led to a restraining order and a misdemeanor battery charge. As a result, he was dropped from his talent agency and removed from The Hangover Part 2 after the cast and crew objected to his involvement. Despite all this, Mel managed to slowly crawl back into the spotlight with films like Hacksaw Ridge, which earned him some critical acclaim. Mel's career went from box office gold to a PR nightmare. Some scripts just don't get a rewrite. Bill's empire crumbled the moment his secrets came to light. Bill's Hollywood saga is a wild ride that took a nosedive faster than you can say fair and balanced. Once the king of the O'Reilly factor, he was the face of Fox News, raking in viewers and controversy alike. But in 2017, a series of allegations about inappropriate behavior came to light. And suddenly, Bill found himself in hot water. After the New York Times revealed that Bill had settled 5 wrongdoing claims for a whopping $13 million, the backlash was swift. Over 50 advertisers pulled their support, and Fox News decided it was time to cut ties with their biggest star. Talk about a dramatic exit. Bill claimed he was the victim of a targeted effort to discredit him, but that didn't save his job. His departure left a gaping hole in Fox's lineup, forcing them to scramble for a replacement. Who knew that being the loudest voice on cable news could lead to such a messy downfall? At this point, Bill's life is like a bad reality show. Entertaining, but you can't help but cringe. Gina went from Star Wars hero to Hollywood exile with just a few tweets. Once a fan favorite as Cara Dune in The Mandalorian, Gina found herself in hot water after a series of social media posts that didn't exactly align with Disney's values. The final straw was when she compared being a conservative to being Jewish during the Holocaust in a February 2021 Instagram post, which sparked a massive backlash and led to her firing. Gina claimed she was targeted for her political views and sued Disney, alleging wrongful termination. She even pointed out that some of her co-stars, like Pedro, had made similar political statements without facing consequences. However, Disney maintained that Gina's posts were unacceptable and violated their standards. Gina's career took a hit faster than a stormtrooper missing a shot. Speaking her mind on social media landed her in trouble, turning a promising Star Wars role into a Hollywood fallout. Turns out, wielding opinions can be just as risky as wielding a blaster, except this time, there was no comeback scene. Armie's career crumbled as fast as those unsettling messages went viral. Once a rising star after hits like Call Me By Your Name, Armie found himself in trouble when some very personal and unsettling messages surfaced online. In January 2021, an anonymous Instagram account shared screenshots of Armie's alleged text messages, which included some pretty dark fantasies and references to cannibalism. The fallout was swift. He was dropped from projects like Death on the Nile and The Offer, and faced allegations of manipulative behavior from several women. Despite being investigated by the LAPD and ultimately not charged, Armie's career took a nosedive. He's since spoken candidly about his past, admitting to toxic behavior and using relationships to fuel his ego. Now, Armie is attempting a comeback with a podcast and a new film role, but it's clear he has a long way to go to regain public trust. Armie's rise to fame had all the makings of a Hollywood success story, until it took a turn no one expected. His career, once thriving, unraveled with a series of unexpected revelations, leaving him sidelined from the industry. Now, his attempt at a comeback feels less like a triumphant return and more like a plot twist no one saw coming. One minute, Lewis was comedy royalty, then came the allegations, and his career fell apart overnight. Once the king of edgy humor, he found himself in hot water when 5 women came forward with some pretty uncomfortable allegations. It turned out that Lewis had a habit of, let's say, showing off in front of his female colleagues without exactly asking for permission. This wasn't just a one-time slip-up. It was a pattern of behavior that spanned over a decade, with incidents involving comedians like Dana, Julia, Rebecca, and Abby. The fallout was swift and harsh. His new movie, I Love You, Daddy, was canceled, and he lost deals with Netflix and HBO. FX cut ties with him, and his animated series, The Cops, was scrapped. Despite all this, Lewis has managed to slowly crawl back onto the comedy scene, even incorporating his past into his routines. Lewis's career went from comedy gold to a cautionary tale. Once on top, his downfall was anything but funny. Now, his comeback feels like a punchline no one's sure how to take. One confrontation ended it all for Eliza. Once a rising star on Bull, she found herself in a tough spot after confronting her co-star Michael about some pretty uncomfortable behavior. Michael had a habit of making lewd comments, including jokes about his disturbing van and boasts about his virility, which didn't exactly make for a pleasant work environment. After Eliza spoke up, she was promptly written off the show, which led to a $9.5 million settlement with CBS. The network claimed the amount reflected what she would have earned if she remained on the show, but Eliza saw it as retaliation for standing up for herself. Eliza's journey proves that speaking up in Hollywood comes at a cost. Her career took an unexpected turn, but her story is far from over, just like a show with an unfinished script.